begin, if you wouldn't mind doing me the honor of smashing the living crap out of that subscribe button and the notification bell so that more of me show up in your feed, I would really appreciate it. And I would doubly, nay, triply appreciate a look over at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where the upper class goes to really taste the finer things in life that I have to offer, such as exclusive movie reviews every month, vlogs depending on your level of support, and you can even get a shout out like several do at the end of all my future videos. Those are the kings, the real creme de la creme. Here we are, Tuesday night, right on time, a couple minutes late, that's okay. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. I cannot believe this, but this is the last one I will be spending at my current studio. Yeah, after this, oh my gosh, I already see that there's technical issues. I think the internet's like, shut him down. He's not going to be here much longer. Let's screw him over. One last ride is right, says Sean. Yeah, I seem like things seem darker on this stream. Things are a little weird, but you know, it is what it is. We'll push past it. Anyway, I'm here to talk movies for the next hour or so. Super chats are always appreciated. It helps keep the lights on, especially when I'm moving across the country from South Carolina back to Minnesota. I'm here for another week and a half. My family's leaving early, but this will probably be the last time I do a live stream. Well, it will be the last time on a Tuesday because next Tuesday, everything's going to be packed up in a moving truck. I might do one more collab stream with, see if I can get Tony and Cecil and a couple other guys on, Rudy maybe, but yeah, otherwise this will be the final time you see me live in probably 2 or 3 weeks. So let's make it count. Give me some good questions tonight. I'll field them as best as I can. Oh, here we go. A powerful question right out of the gates from Sean. How is that 31 on 31 watch list looking? Sean, it's looking very good. I've put in a lot of time the last week and a half, really pushing through a lot of movies, most of which on this back half I have not seen before. A lot of surprises, a lot of movies I'm very excited to talk about in my video, which I'll probably film. I want to say I'll film it Saturday, and then I'll edit it most of the day Sunday and have it scheduled out for the end of the month. The 31 on 31, for those that don't know, it's a Cody Leach thing. Sean Chandler typically does it with him along with 3 or 4 others. Sean's not doing the one coming up here. It's going to be mafia movies is what I meant to say. There is a specific term he said I need to use, but we'll worry about that when I shoot the video. Anyway, 31 different mob movies ranked from worst to best. My list is almost completed. I'm 29 deep. I have 2 more movies to watch. I watched The Warriors for the first time in 30 years. I got to tell you, I thought this was going to be clear sailing through this list. I like almost every single movie on this list. I fucking hated The Warriors. I thought it was just terrible, especially when you put it up with all these other really well-made films. I know Cody really likes The Warriors and a couple others do, so after our ranking videos that are going to be on our different channels, we're also going to get together for a live stream and debate them. And I'm going to have a lot to say about The Warriors, and I'm sure they will as well, defending it. But either way, it's going to be a lively, fun debate when we get time. I wish them the best. It's my first time doing it. I wish them the best. Anyway, let's get to the super chats. We have a couple, which I super appreciate. Shot out of a cannon, Alex, for $2 Canadian, which is like mere rupees over here, pennies, but that's okay. I appreciate it. Favorite Ridley Scott movie from 1985. You son of a bitch. Right out of the gates, he did it. I assume, you know what? Actually, a fan of the channel just sent me a message earlier today of Legend that he picked up on Blu-ray. It just arrived in the mail, I believe. So he picked it up from the mailbox. It looked beautiful. The cover was really nice. I imagine that's the 1985 movie you're referring to, Alex. So I'll probably say that one, which I haven't seen still, as you know. Brian for $2. Last Neck Shadow, he says. Yes, Brian, Last Neck Shadow indeed. That's awesome. Best part of 31 on 31 is discovering new stuff you never saw before. Yeah, Sean, I would imagine, I think, 5 movies that I had not watched before that I enjoyed thoroughly. One of which I was very impressed and kind of shocked by because I just didn't really know what to think going in. I'm going to keep it vague because I want to leave some stuff for the video. But yeah, it was very good. And there was one movie that people often ask. They come to me with tears in their eyes. They say, "Sir, Adam, sir, what movie did you watch when you were younger and have a change of heart when watching it a second time?" I always say Castaway. It's really the only movie that my opinion softened on, and I actually appreciated a lot more on a second watch, especially being a father. It meant something a little bit more to me. There's a movie on this list that I've changed my viewpoint from hating it to actually thinking, all right, this is pretty solid, actually. I have problems with it, and I'm keeping it vague again because that video is going to come out in a week or so. But yeah, there's a couple on there that impressed me. Warriors, come out and play. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm not alone. At least I'm not alone in this opinion. I enjoyed the Warriors movie, also the video game. Yeah, a lot of people do. I want to ask this, and I want you guys to be honest with yourselves. When is the last time you watched? It's going to be a multi-tiered question. When's the last time you watched The Warriors? Number 1. Number 2. How old were you when you watched The Warriors? Those 2 questions, I think your answers may make you realize that what was cool and edgy as a kid maybe was not. Maybe was not. And a lot of these people are now my age, and they just have that nostalgia they're holding on to. Here's an example for you. I often have brought up on these lives the Three Ninjas saga, Kickback, Knuckle Up, High Noon at Mega Mountain. Never saw that one, didn't care to. I watched the first one religiously. I could quote that movie pretty heavily. Even today, I think I could still quote a good amount of it. Let's Light This Guy Up, Rocky Loves Emily, things of that nature. That movie's trash bad. Okay? It's embarrassingly bad. But young Adam loved the crap out of it. Are you going to miss going to your local theater? What was the last movie you watched or plan on watching there before moving? No, I'm not going to miss going to my local theater because it sucks ass. The Regal in South Carolina is trash. It's messy. It's understaffed. The people are incredibly rude. Not the workers. The workers are all actually fantastic. Shout out to the workers at Regal. You're doing the best you can with what you're given, which is virtually nothing. I'm talking about the audience members. There's a lot of really bad apples in there that are vaping, that talk, they go on their phones the whole time. And I'm hoping it's specific to this theater and it hasn't become a global issue outright. Although, based on my last video rant about movie theaters going to shit and people being rude pricks, it might be more global at this point, because I put out that same type of video a few years back and I got pushback from the comments saying, it must be your theater. It's not like this where I'm at. What kind of theater are you in? That didn't exist in the comments last time around. I would say 99% of them were saying the same thing, having their own horror stories. Regardless, the Minnesota theaters are way better, cleaner, larger, newer, fully staffed. And I did go there last year, so this isn't something from 3 years back. I've been there within the last year, and it was still really nice. I am looking forward to that. I'll probably have to get like an AMC Stupid Stubs membership or whatever. Or I need to reach out to whoever does like the screeners there and try to get critic access. Oh, I should announce this, which is kind of cool for the one of you that maybe knows what it is. I have been accepted into the CCA, the Critics' Choice Association. I'm officially a Critics' Choice member. I'm on their website. You can find me with my, my profile. I guess it's this way, looking up very serious and stoically with a little bio. That gives me access to screeners digitally. It gives me access to some red carpet events if I want to go to them, which I probably never will or could afford. But the option's there at least. And then there is the Critics' Choice Awards ceremony they do every year. So 2026 early will be the next one, and I will see probably some fellow creators there that I know went to the last one, such as Sean, Cody, John Paula. I'm very excited to attend that. I think that'll be very fun. So yeah, another little feather in the cap for hitting some milestones in the last couple years on the channel that I'm happy about. Oh, so to answer this question in the longest way possible, what is the last movie you watched or plan on watching there? I'm going to be seeing Mission Impossible 85, which is like 3 hours long. I was going to go Thursday with the kids, but they haven't seen the last one or two, and they're just kind of falling out of it right now. They're not into it. And Thursday's the last time I'm with my family, so I'm probably not going to go to the movies at all Thursday when I typically go. I'll just hang out with them, and then Friday, I'll send them off. And Friday, I will be going to Mission Impossible, probably at the Palmetto, and Lilo and fucking bitch is out. Lilo and Stitch. I don't even know how to review these anymore, or if it's worth reviewing them, because I just truly hate these Disney live action movies. And when Cecil was on, he pushed back and questioned why, and I feel like I gave him a pretty just response. They're just carbon copies of what came before. So I don't need to like crap all over it and tell people what a lot of people know already, but there's also a huge amount of folks that enjoy these stupid movies and they eat them up and they make $1 billion. Lilo and Stitch is probably going to make $1 billion. What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to, react? Do I need to put out a review and say the same thing I always say, which is, yeah, it's not better than the animated one, and it's ripping off all the same material, but doing it worse, and the characters aren't near as lively, the color palette's not as brilliant or vibrant, just everything's going to be worse. But hey, nostalgia, member berries, I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding if I want to do it again. Or maybe let me know in the chat. Maybe I'll put out a poll asking people if they want me to see it and review it, and then I'll ignore it, as I always do. So to answer the question, I think it's going to be Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch. Every time I look at this guy, which is me, I'm talking to the community, I always just think of him as saying, in his infinite wisdom. Yeah. We have a super chat from Dan. Had to drop by to comment on sweet 5-foot tall hair. Yeah, it's really getting up there. Really getting up there, Dan. I don't know if this is neighbor Dan, who I just saw as I was walking with my wife outside, trying to have a nice kind of final walk around the community, soak in the sun, Sheryl Crow. But then there's Dan. Damn, Dan's out and he wants to chat. And it's like, here we go. If this is the Dan, thank you for the $2. That was unnecessary, but I appreciate it. And yes, the hair is absolutely out of control. It's on fleek, as people said 15 years ago. And I'll get a haircut probably on Saturday. Guess everything's popping off on Friday and Saturday. Would you ever watch and do a review of Hurry Up Tomorrow? Yeah, that's that supposed dumpster fire with The Weeknd in it and Jenna Ortega. I don't know. Does anybody actually care? I thought about going, but it's like, do I want to spend my time sitting there miserably watching something I know is probably going to be trash? Oh, and I'm gone. Am I gone? Oh, I'm back. I don't know if that showed up like that on your end, but on my end, I went black for a second with a spinny ball. So that's fun. I might go see it. If I'm bored and I want to get some more material on the channel and I have nothing else to talk about, maybe I'll go to Hurry Up Tomorrow for the fun of it. If you know what, I used to do a thing where people could super chat me to go see it. They'd say like, hey, here's $20, go see the movie. So maybe if we can get a $20 super chat to go see Hurry Up Tomorrow, I'll go see it because I don't cost a lot. I don't cost a lot. Christian Movie Nerd for $5. Do you have any drive-in theaters in any of the towns you lived in? Did you go to them when you were a kid? Good question, and no, I did not. The closest to a drive-in was actually during COVID. The St. Michael Theater in Minnesota put a giant white, they just painted like a giant white box on the outside of their theater, and they were showing drive-in movies out there, which was really clever because you couldn't go inside in theaters at that time. Nice way to keep people going to the theater. Although I believe that movie chain, I think it might just be a solo theater owned by a very rich individual. I think they're in financial ruin or in big trouble right now because they they weren't processing the movie ticket sales for like 6 months. People were buying movie tickets online and the money wasn't accounted for or something really sketchy is going on. And they sent out an email to all of their like rewards members or people that were on the system asking if they could pay again. Not good. Not good. Lance for $4.99 says, with tears in my eyes, would you ever watch Hurry Up Tomorrow and roast it? Also, what's a movie that has divided your household? I said $20, Lance, but maybe you jumped in early. You can't hold me to it now. What's a movie that has divided your household? I don't know if there's one that divided my household. I think we're all kind of in agreement on most things. I will say this. I had Lindsay, my wife, on a live stream last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago at this point. I don't know. Pretty early on when I was doing live streams here in the South. And it was to talk about Disney movies. I don't think we were ranking them. I think we were just going through and debating the pros and cons. She was way more harsh on these movies than I thought. Like Lion King, she was kind of shitting all over. Aladdin, she wasn't very kind to. Just scorched earth on what I consider to be classic family fun entertainment. I didn't have a bad thing to say about him, and here she is just scorched earth. It caught me off guard, honestly. And if you thought I was mean about some movies or a little too critical, holy shit. My wife, who's typically sweet as a button, was just shot out of a cannon. Okay, I think I saw all the super chats. Let's move on. Let's get up to where we're at. I have to zoom in. You'll notice I'm not wearing my readers the last couple live streams. I need them still, but I'm enhancing, I'm zooming in. Can I send you $20 and you go see Lilo and Stitch twice? That's good. Yes. Do you think Thunderbolts has a chance to at least break even, or is it too late considering this weekend's new lineup? What are their last I looked, they were around 300 million. Thunderbolts global box office. Let's see what Box Office Mojo has to say. Worldwide, they're at 328,000. And I think the budget was like 180. Budget for Thunderbolts. Yeah, the budget is at 180. So for us math whizzes out there, it needs to make 360 is double, and that still isn't going to cover marketing and theater and all that stuff. So it probably needs to make like 420 all stars. 420 would be probably bare min to break even. Min short for minimum, of course. I don't know. That's a lot. They got to make another $100 million essentially. I think we're a little too late in the game for that to happen. You know, Disney does have other things baked into the bread, though. Their theater sales aren't the only way that they recoup that cost. So Thunderbolts merch of any kind, if you see some, dipshit with a t-shirt on with a Thunderbolts expression or something, a backpack, something like that, that goes into their plan. That goes into the formula. Maybe some toys. I don't know if anybody buys toys anymore, MCU wise. They have ways of recouping some of that cost, but no, I don't think this is going to be a financial success by any means. I just don't know if it's going to be an outright flop. Probably kind of even keels at the end of the day. DJM for 199. This is neighbor Dan, the hot army guy. Okay, there it is. So I was wrong when I gave this guy credit for neighbor Dan. This is neighbor Dan, the hot army guy who is not an army guy as far as I know, but he is bringing up something I should point out. When I was on the walk with my wife, the romantic walk that he ruined, Lindsay had no problem pointing out that across the street somewhere lived a very attractive army dude. Didn't get to see him myself to confirm the kill, but I'll take her word for it. She was adamant about seeing this guy. Adamant. And all she has is Adam. And I was, I was like, okay, well, whatever. Everybody's got their thing, I guess. For your army man, I got my ScarJo in the new Jurassic World. Resurrection or whatever it's called. Rebirth. ScarJo's in Rebirth. And I put out a video on that earlier today. If you didn't watch it, you should. I did a reaction to the trailer as an adult would react, meaning I just talked about it and I didn't make a bunch of dumb faces. Well, I did do that too at the beginning, but that was just to throw you off the scent. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, DJM. Appreciate it. Oh, and also, Dan, you can get those grills, plural, from me at any point in time. You just let me know now. I've grilled up a bunch of chicken. I'm not going to need them anymore. So I have these two black stone grills at your service. They're a little rough. Well, you'll have to do some surface repairs, but they work. They light up, they cook, they grill. Believe me, they grill. But they can't come with me on the move, unfortunately. Can't come with me on the move. The Republic of Bridger for $1.99. Thank you, Republic. You ever get your neighbor's blue bag taken down? I did not, but it got taken down itself, whether through Mother Nature, whether through some sort of a god or goddess intervening, some act of kindness from a stranger, also in the same predicament as I was, looking at that unsightly blue bag every day he walked down the sidewalk. Someone took care of it for me. And they are a hero. They are an absolute legend. The blue bag is gone. I checked it out. I confirmed the kill a week back. I drove by there again just to make sure. For those that are very confused right now, in my last place, because I move every 3 weeks, I hate myself. So I do that to myself. We had a home, and right next to us, some would say caddy corner, which would be incorrect. I say kitty corner, also incorrect because it was my neighbor. There was a blue bag outside the garage. This mystery bag contained documentation, short for documentation, that was for the pool that they installed in the back of the house that took 6 months to get in. And it's an eyesore because there's like this giant turd slide rock thing that comes down. Any hoot, that bag was the bluest of blue colors you could bag something. And it sat there for not days, not weeks, but 28 days later. Oh, I meant 28 years later. I butchered my own thing. I'm sorry. This is why I heavily edit my videos. Regardless, I was getting pissed off by this thing. And no, I didn't say anything to him because I'm a child. So I bitched online about it. On my second channel, Adam Does Rants, I suppose you could subscribe there if you want. I don't post videos there anymore. Maybe when I move and have some new material, I will. In fact, I do have new material that I will. You know what? I am going to start filming Adam Does Rants again. I just have to get in the new place. All right. But today I was out at the coffee shop. This is what we call the weave. I'm weaving around with my dialogue. I was at the coffee shop, my favorite coffee shop, and I was sitting in a leather chair. We can get rid of this. There's two leather chairs. There's one here, and then there's one caddy corner. And then a little, table thing in the way. What do you call it? An end table, I suppose, with a lamp on it. It's very cute. The only two leather chairs. Then there's a full couch. There's a little coffee table over there. And then a bunch of them sporadically on this side. A whole bunch of tables. I am one of maybe 5 people in this place. Lots of opportunities to sit. I have my computer, my laptop on a little desk thing in front of me. I have a nice setup. All right. This old fuck gets his orange Julius type of thing, but it's not an orange Julius, comes over and plops down right next to me. So our knees are essentially touching. His knee is basically kissing the side of my thigh. And I'm just kind of, I have my, keep in mind, I have my stupid little readers on. So I'm doing the like, kind of looking out the side of my reader, like, oh, I can't believe this guy is in my territorial bubble right now while I'm trying to get some work done. Put my headset back in a little bit, you know, push him in a little bit tighter. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. That's what I guess I'm listening to Chumbawamba in this scenario. And this fucking guy, he's got no laptop. He doesn't even have a phone out. He sits down with his short shorts. So I'm seeing half of a ball sticking out at some points, Parker posing out the side. He's got his orange Julius. He's drinking it. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. And after every slurp, he does this. He's smacking the shit out of those lips. My headphones are now like embedded into my brain, and I'm still hearing. So I'm going deeper and deeper. This shit is bananas. Bananas. And Gwen Stefani is not even helping the situation. I almost killed him. The blue bag had nothing on this prick, this smacker guy, lip smackers. And yeah, I think I could probably make a 10-minute rant about just that alone, because my life is very, very easy compared to most. That's my biggest issue in life. All right. Bag is taken care of. Let's go to the bag. Adrian Brody with sprinkles. For $4.99. Thank you, Adrian Brody with sprinkles. Super random question. Favorite Wes Anderson film? Well, let me look, because I don't have one right out of the gates. Wes Anderson films. I'm thinking like out of the gates, it's going to be one of his first ones, which was Rushmore, but let me look at what we have. I haven't seen probably half of his. All right. I kind of got burnt out by his whole shtick, his gimmick. I did not see his. Oh, I still have not seen Bottle Rocket. Rushmore so far is my favorite. I've seen Royal Tenenbaums. That's good. Life Aquatic, I was really disappointed by because I thought it was going to be a lot better. Some funny parts, though, still. Did not see the Darjeeling Limited. Probably said that way wrong. Did not care to see Fantastic Mr. Fox. Grand Budapest Hotel. Didn't care to see. Like, I haven't seen a lot of these. I've seen Asteroid City. That one did not work for me at all. And I've not seen any of these new ones. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and Three More, or The Phoenician Scheme. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen probably, 25-30% of his catalog. But Rushmore, out of those, is a pretty easy pick for me. I think I'm done with... Oh, wait, I think I missed some here. Did I miss one from Douglas for $2? Your reviews and rants bring so many laughs. Thank you, Douglas. I appreciate that. That's the goal. Brian for $2. Think Florence Pugh is lead actor material now. I don't know if she's lead. It's so hard in this day and age to say that anyone outside of the old guard like Tom Cruise really is lead actor material. And even Cruise has its limits, obviously, because the last Mission Impossible didn't financially do that well because of all the reshoots and the COVID stuff. And it was a very bloated budget. I'm going to be very curious to see how this one does. I heard very mixed things about this new Mission Impossible. Some people saying it's a slog to get through. It is over 2.5 hours long, if I saw that correctly, which does kind of concern me. These Mission Impossible movies keep getting longer and more bloated, and they really do not need to be. I like a good 90-minute, 2-hour Mission Impossible. I think they're probably all around 2 hours or longer. But, just it doesn't need to be so freaking heavy-handed. And it sounds like a good chunk of this new one is just a lot of dialogue and a lot of kind of looking back on the good old days. That's troubling. As far as Florence Pugh, yeah, I think she's great. I think she's a solid actress. It's just hard to know really if anyone like Scarlett Johansson again, she's going to be in the new Jurassic World. Basically, it's her and the guy who I can never pronounce his name that was supposed to be Blade at one point. Are these like huge stars? Scarlett Johansson is, and I don't think she's like pulling in numbers. I don't think people are going to go out just for her, besides me, obviously. But I'm here for the dinosaurs too. So dinosaurs really have to sell it. It's more the characters now, like the Supermans. I think Quentin Tarantino said something similar. It's not really actors anymore that are doing it. It's the product or the character that the actor is playing. Obviously, there's exceptions, but no, I don't think Florence Pugh is gonna pull in big numbers on her own as a leading actress. We got Ballerina coming out soon with Ana de Armas. I'm going to be very curious to see how that one does. She has been in a lot of movies. Not a lot of them are great. Not a lot of them have been super successful. A lot of them went straight to streaming on Netflix and were terrible. I don't know if she has name recognition even, and she's going to be carrying a movie. Granted, they know that it's a risk, and so they've been putting John Wick all over that trailer. Keanu Reeves is everywhere. Established character, established IP. What are we, 5 movies deep now with a spin-off Continental TV series? It's going to be really hard, I think, for actors like Florence Pugh or anyone to just carry a movie unless that budget stays small enough. Freddie, for $2, Freddie Lit. Have you seen Hobo with a Shotgun with Rutger Hauer or Hauer? I can't say the name. Rutger Hauer? Why do I know that name? Oh yeah, he's been around a long time. I have not seen Hobo with a Shotgun. I have heard it's crazy and cool, but I have not seen it. Sorry you wasted a super chat on that. But I do appreciate your The Thing thumbnail. That's awesome. Christian for $2. Thank you, Christian. Favorite horror movie franchise? Well, many of you know my favorite horror movie is The Thing, which Freddie just beautifully showcased. Favorite horror movie franchise? It's hard. I've said this like 1,000 times on a live stream now. I'm not married to any franchises. I don't ever get too excited about a franchise in the horror space. I think that space more than any other one has really kind of been hit or miss because budgets typically range wildly from, okay, we're going to spend, $4 million on this one. And the next one, we're going to give it like 40 million. And then, maybe it didn't exceed our expectations. So we're going to go back down to like 2. They're just so wildly inconsistent, often switch hands a lot of times with directors. So most of these horror franchises get kind of shitty after just a couple movies. And then they might have a good one again, and then it gets bad again. I think consistency-wise, Scream has been pretty solid, but I mean, that's not even really horror. That's more slasher. There's the sub-genres, the microchasms of these different main genres. That's really challenging for me to even give you a concrete answer. Why don't let me horror movie franchises. Let's see what we have to work with, so I don't have to pull something out of my ass. Child's Play, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Paranormal Activity, Saw, Alien. Again, Alien's kind of meshing different genres constantly. The Conjuring's only had a couple movies. The first 2 are great. The third one I thought was terrible. I am excited for the fourth, though. Halloween, again, so wildly inconsistent. Poltergeist, the Predator. Yeah, none of them are. I mean, 28 Days Later has had 2 movies. The third one's coming out. So, yeah, okay, the first 2 are fine, but that's not really... when I'm thinking franchise, I'm thinking already established 4 or 5 movies deep. You know what? Evil Dead, they're all pretty good. I would say Evil Dead are all great to good. I don't think there's really a bad one in the bunch. And we have 4 of those. At least 4. And a TV series and a video game. I'd say Evil Dead, Scream, I guess. Insidious sucks. The first one's fine, then they just get stupider and stupider. Jaws is only good after, like, only the first Jaws is good. Yeah, horror is really hard. Horror franchises, they just don't last. I mean, people can prove me wrong if anybody has any that they think are just fantastic all around, but Dune Messiah or The Odyssey for next year? I cannot. I got to go Christopher Nolan every time. The Odyssey is. I'm very excited for that. His take on it, especially, is going to be awesome. Dune Messiah, I kind of know what I'm getting. There's not going to be a lot of surprises there. We know the visuals, we know the template, we know the characters. I'm excited for both, but Nolan really never disappoints. Even Tenet, which is easily his worst in my opinion, upon a second watch, I appreciated it more. Still can't say I enjoy it that much, but I don't outright hate that one either. So he really gets my kind of taste, I suppose. I think I'm caught up on supers again. Let's go to the live feed. Army of Darkness is so good, Evil Dead wise. Yes, Army of Darkness is great. This is my boomstick. What is the best Evil Dead movie? I say the first one, but it is debatable. Yeah, I mean, the first one's more horror, more Sam Raimi-esque, I suppose, in terms of his crazy camera work. But I'm with Adrian. I love Army of Darkness. It's obviously aged a lot, but it also has a goofy charm to it that's timeless. So Dagsby, I was gonna say Final Destination until I realized I've only seen 2.5 of them out of what, 6? So I've seen the first. I've seen half of the third with the roller coaster. Did not see the second, which I've been told by pretty much everyone it's the best. Did not see 4 or 5, and I obviously went on and watched 6. I want to go watch those movies. My daughter has actually seen more than I have now. She watched the second one. She freaking loves it. It's her favorite. She said the third one's bad. Fourth one's trash. I don't think she's watched the fifth one yet. But no, I really want to watch the Final Destination movies. It's crazy that I did not continue watching them because I enjoyed the first one quite a bit when it came out. I was probably just too busy playing Halo at that time. This is a good question. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of film directors? We got four to pick from. Spielberg is a no-brainer. Steven Spielberg goes out there for a insane amount of amazing films and just touchstone classics, timeless movies, Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., and then he's got his war side of things. Bridge of Spies was solid. You have War of the Worlds, not quite the same type of war movie as Bridge of Spies. Obviously, you have Schindler's List. Like, Spielberg has such a catalog of amazing movies, and he's even recently, I mean, not so recently, but I liked Ready Player One a lot. I know a lot of people don't, but I thought that was Spielberg just really kicking it up a notch for a newer generation of people. He still has it in him. Yeah, I will always be impressed with his catalog of films. Then you have this one's a little harder because this guy has let me down a lot in the last over decade, I would say. But David Fincher, I think, really put his mark on cinema back in the day with Seven, with Fight Club, with Panic Room, with The Game, with Zodiac, with Social Network. He's just had so many banger after banger hits. And then he kind of sold his soul to Netflix, unfortunately. And we'll probably never see him again because he's hidden, buried under a pile of cash somewhere. I would put him on there, I suppose. I think I would go with Christopher Nolan. I think he's just brilliant with his filmography. Prestige is amongst my favorite. I think Interstellar is brilliant. Inception, The Dark Knight. He really does. Dunkirk, I thought was great. And the fact that it's PG-13 still blows my mind. I could have swore it was an R-rated movie when I was watching it, but it's really not. It's just intense as shit. Kubrick, Kubrick was really pushing boundaries. Oh God, there's just too many. It's going to come down to personal preference, and you almost have to separate that because directors, we're talking about people that created truly something unique and special and really set the standards and set the stage for directors to come down the road. So even the people I'm using are maybe too modern outside of Spielberg. I mean, I'd maybe take Fincher off and place him with maybe a Kubrick, or there's just too many to choose from. I would have to sit on that for a while. I would have to really look into the catalogs of these guys, because you have James Cameron too. Oh my God, why am I blanking on fucking what's his name? Like the most influential director, The Birds, Psycho. Oh my gosh, it's killing me that I can't think of his name. I'm not going to look at the chat because I have to figure it out on my own. It's bothering me. What is his name? Why'd you say that name? I have to look because I'm live. It would just be too awkward if I just sat here in silence. Someone tell me the guy's name, or I could look, but I don't want to. Hitchcock, thank you. Oh my God, Alfred Hitchcock. Martha Hitchcock. Oh, Itchy Cock. Thank you, Bubba, for the contribution. Aquafina, there it is. Fun aside, someone... Okay, actually, I'm not going to aside it yet. I'll remember this, and I'll come back to Aquafina in a second, because there's still super chats to get through. Wait, did I answer that? I kind of copped out, didn't I? I said Nolan and Spielberg for sure. Hitchcock probably has to go on there, and maybe Kubrick. Unfortunately, for the strong female lead directors, I just can't think of any that have like an insane catalog that like rivals those guys right now. There are some female directors that have, what? There's one that did a lot of good movies, but hang on. I have to look her up. Director of Hurt Locker. The director of Catherine Bigelow has done some really good movies, but she only does have, I think she only has 4 or 5 under her belt over a very long career. I don't even need to look. I know she does. She only has a few movies, and they're really good, but not enough. I guess, yeah, we'll leave it there. You get the idea. All right. The Flute Wizard for $5. Thank you, Flute Wizard. Zelda movie. Your thoughts on if they screw the pooch making it live action? Yes. Or your personal preference. Best wishes on the move. Yes, they screwed the pooch making it live action. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. They had such an easy win here. I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they did it because there's some sort of like creative vision they have. I think they're just dumb. And Nintendo has proven that they're greedy. Look at the Switch 2 costs and everything going into that, and just the things they say and the way that they treat their end users with never really putting their games on sale, and just the double dipping they do and the way they handle DLC. I could rant forever on Nintendo and their bad practices. And it's sad too, because they're like presenting themselves like the Disney of video games, but they just don't like their customers. And I'm sure they have a heavy hand in how these movie decisions are going. It just seemed like such a no-brainer. And I brought this up before. To make these movies all cohesive. All right, they can have different art styles and their own visual flair, and they should. But make them all animated and then bring them together. Nintendo has a damn MCU, and they're blowing it. You have the Mario movie that made, I believe, over $1 billion by Illumination. You do Zelda Wind Waker in that gorgeous cel-shaded look on the big screen or Ocarina of Time if you need to go there, whatever. But you should have made it animated. Then you could have gone to a Kirby movie. Beautiful, vibrant, poppy colors. You get that on the big screen. Boom. Then you go to F-Zero, a high octane, fast paced race car film. Ka-chow. You get a Star Fox flying action movie in the mix. Skabinga. You go to a, what else do we have? What else do we have? Metroid. You get a darker, grittier Samus Aran film as Metroid. Well, she's Samus, but fighting Metroid, Mother Brain, and then you bring it all together. You bring it all home for that epic Smash Brothers film. It's right there. It was right there the whole time. And who do you make the Nick Fury of the group? I don't know. That's for Nintendo to come up with. But yeah, I mean, I did all the legwork already. It's ridiculous, honestly. Good question. Now I'm upset. Yeah, I know she did Point Break. Oh yeah, we could get a Donkey Kong movie too. He was in the Mario movie, but sure, he can have his own film as well. Unless you're saying Kong is bringing everyone together, he's the Nick Fury. Even though Disney's official remake of Lilo and Stitch releases in 3 days, it was baffling confirmed via early screenings that Gantu, the humanoid orca, has been deleted from the movie entirely. Listen, this movie looks terrible. I It's so hard to know who is genuine online anymore and what are bots and what are just shills or what are like it makes my brain explode. That Lilo and Stitch shit looks awful. Okay? You have the aliens in there, right? They don't dress up as humans because comedy, in the animated movie, they show up on Earth and they put on ridiculous disguises. The thin alien, I forget their names because it's been a while since I've seen them, has the wig and in a dress. And then you have the huge dude who's in a toupee, and they both look like aliens dressed poorly. It's hilarious, but no one sees, no one understands. They just give them weird looks like, what the hell is this? In the new movie, they just have hologram versions as humans. They can disguise themselves fully. So no joke there. No joke there. Because again, it works in animated form. Probably didn't work for them in a live action straight to Disney Plus movie that they repurposed for a film. And that's just one of the many problems. Bubbles, look at Bubbles, the FBI agent who's this massive dude voiced by Vin Rames, I believe. Now he's this thin looking guy who's not intimidating in the slightest. Why? Lilo and Stitch. Lilo is supposed to have this dark personality. She's kind of evil at times because her parents are gone. She would be like that. It makes sense for the character. Movie trailers, from what I'm seeing, show her as kind of just a silly, doofusy little girl. Missing the mark. Again, I can't criticize that much because maybe the final product's not like that. But again, there's a lot of red flags, and none of it screams this is going to be better, or we even tried to make this better than the original. Hate this crap. I don't really think Lilo and Stitch can be adapted live action. Yet none of them can. That's the problem. None of them can because they're all freaking beloved classics. You will never go to a Disney theme park and see the live action interpretations of rides, except for maybe, I suppose, the National Geographic Lion King, which is also kind of depressing, but maybe you'll see that one. But no, they're not going to replace the Disney princesses with the live action versions. There's still going to be the colorful, cutesy cartoon ones. It's just nonsense. It's just to retain the rights, probably, to the trademarks, and it's just to put butts in the seats for the easiest cash grabs possible. What is either your favorite book, comic book character, or IP that would be most excited to see in a movie? Okay, I gotta think for a second. So I really liked Aragon, and I know they made a movie a long time ago, and I didn't see it because it looked terrible, and I heard it was awful. But I think Aragon would be a really cool series of films. I think Disney acquired them at some point, and maybe something's happening with that. I don't know. There's another series, another book series that's aimed younger kids called Fablehaven. Incredibly underrated set of books. I think there's four, three or four, possibly five. Great reads though. If you got a younger kid, say, 8, 9, 10, easy reads. You sit down and read them with the kid or read them just out loud to them. I did that with my kids. They were awesome. They're really fun to read, and they would be great movies. You Harry Potter the shit out of those. Those are the two that come to mind. If I'm thinking of like something maybe a little older from my day, back in my day, trying to think of video games that would be cool. And when I'm thinking of video games, they did one actually. If you remember Earthworm Jim from way back in Super Nintendo Genesis, they actually did make that a cartoon, I think, at one point. So that would have been one I would have said that would have been a fun cartoon, but they did it and I didn't watch. So I guess I don't know. But the problem with the games to movies is kind of the same thing with a lot of these Disney remakes, like Last of Us that we're seeing. They're just kind of shells of the games because a lot of the games they're emulating are already kind of movies to begin with. Uncharted, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. These are all very cinematic games with top tier acting, voice acting, and motion capture performance, plus the visuals. They're putting these cameras in cinematic shots, and it's going to be really hard to live up to those stories and that presentation initially. Now, obviously, the difference here is it's a different medium, and so you can give it a little bit more leeway. I don't expect people that are watching the movie or playing or watching a TV series to have played the video game and had that experience. I'm just saying personally, it would be hard for me to say, oh, they should do this or that because I have played a lot of these games. One of them that does spring out, actually two that spring out, and one I think is actually happening is Bioshock. Bioshock was a really very fascinating game, had an interesting story, had a cool ass setting under the ocean in this dystopian, like, I don't even want to say noir. I guess it's kind of a noir. No, noir is just black and white, right? What's the word I'm thinking of? That Batman, the animated series. What's that art style? I'm forgetting it. Not Art Deco. Oh my God, what is it called? Someone fill me in. What's the term for that style of art? But anyway, Bioshock would be cool, and the one that's in space, Dead Space, the one that's in space where you fight dead people. Dead Space could be a really creepy horror movie. I have no idea why they have not turned that into a horror franchise. Dead Space seems like an easy win. Horror movies are typically um, cheaper to make, and they almost always return investment. Not gothic, not steampunk, none of those. None of those people. I'll find it. It is Art Deco. People are calling it Dark Deco. The producers call it Dark Deco. Well, that's the term they came up with. Yeah, Art Deco. That I think I said that, didn't I? Oh, whatever. That's what I was talking about. Art Deco. Sam says, great channel, Adam. Just found out about you through a meme posted about you on Reddit. Is that actually a thing? Is it like a Godzilla minus one, someone shitting on me? Because that's the only time I think I've ever been on Reddit. And there are full long not articles, but full long threads dedicated to how much I suck because of Godzilla minus one. I took a gander one time and then never again. Dark Deco, baby. YouTube suppressing this channel big time. Is that so, Michael? That's depressing if that's the case. I don't know how to find that out or if there's any truth to that. But I stopped making excuses a long time ago for the growth of the channel, and you know what? I fucking did something about it. It changed. I changed it. I guess that would be a nice segue to kind of pour one out for the South Carolina experience. You guys can feel free to super chat here in the next. We're almost at an hour. I like to go at least an hour, and then at the end, if people bring super chats, then I stay longer. But what do we got here? Cinefanatic. Since this is the last live here in South Carolina, let me say your movie crew will miss having you. Andy, thank you very much. We will meet in person one last time Friday. Make it happen. I'm around most of the day, so make it happen. We'll get to a couple movies. Someone wants me to see that Weekend film really badly. Maybe we go to that one. Get some dinner afterwards and talk about what a profound movie experience it is. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes. We moved out to South Carolina 3 years ago, almost to the day. Well, in June, it'll be to the day. And the goal of moving out here was, I guess, kind of a fresh start. You know, the kids felt like they wanted to experience something new, experience the sun, get to the ocean. I learned how to surf while I was out here. Not great, but I was able to get up on the board. All right, so that was fun. Taking those lessons with my kids was an amazing once in a lifetime experience. I will always remember. We had some very good family photos out here. We went to Disney World several times, got in the car and just drove 6 hours to Disney, to Typhoon Lagoon, to Universal Studios several times. Kind of built up a good credit card debt that I thankfully was able to pay back off, but it was worth it, and I would do it again in a heartbeat, even if that means not having a very impressive savings account. But these are the memories that I want with my family, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Outside of that, the other big focus was this channel. When I left Minnesota, I think I was hovering around 50,000 subscribers, maybe close to 60. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'd have to look back. But the channel was dying. It was dying, and I made a lot of bad mistakes, as I've gone over several times on this channel, beating a dead horse at this point. But yeah, just a lack of focus. Trying to do too many things, not a lot of things sticking, giving up on them right away, trying new things, confusing audiences that subscribe for one thing and get 10 different things. That's all on me. No consistency, not uploading weekly, sometimes not uploading but more than once a month, getting burnt out with work, getting burnt out with the second job. And I just needed to start over and find focus. And that's what I did. So we just focused on movies, going to movies, and doing what I love the most, talking about them, picking out movie news articles that I think would be fun to share, not trying to go outside of my comfort zone and act like I'm like the be all know all when it comes to movie opinion. Sure, being strong with my convictions, right? And maybe presenting it in a matter-of-fact, pompous, douchey-esque way, but knowing that people will appreciate the approach and understand that I'm just like everyone else, having an opinion, poking fun at myself, poking fun at other things, having a good time, because it's subjective. It's stupid. It doesn't matter at all. It matters to us, sure, but in the grand scope, yeah. You think the Hollywood folks are crying over Adam Does Movies thoughts on Nosferatu? No shit, they aren't. They're going out to the next beach party and they're having a great time. I digress. Managed to get from that 50 some thousand subscriber slug to building to over 100,000 subscribers in this 3 years. And I really look at this channel in the last 3 years as my full existence here. The first 50,000 subs were just random experiments, throwing everything at the wall, having a good time, not really thinking through strategy or focus. And the last three was business. It was me actually trying to make this something that could last and something I could be proud of and something that I could go, yeah, you want to check out my review for this? It's right there. Go. I'm not like ashamed to point them to my videos, or I don't look back on them and go, oh, that's cringe, or that wasn't a good review. No, it's my review and I stand by them. And these live streams have been amazing because they've allowed me to connect with the audience on a more personal level while retaining, kind of the fun aesthetic, I guess, of the show in a sense. Maybe with a few more edits needed along the way. And then obviously there's the people that I've met while I was in South Carolina, the friend group that I would go to these movies with. It's just been a great experience. And yeah, well, I'll keep in touch with them, and that's just one more kind of road that I've crossed on this journey. Anyway, that's that. Couple more super chats. Christian Movie Nerd for $5. Thank you, Christian. Since comic book movies are past their glory days, do you think video game adapts will take over? Adapts short for adaptions. I think that we are. I think in a sense, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more video game adaptations in the form of TV shows and movies, mainly because Nintendo's going to pump them out and they know that they have cash cows on their hands, especially if they can make Zelda work. I think Zelda's probably going to work just from name alone. There's a Fortnite movie rumored to be happening. I think there's some stupid Skibbity toilet movie coming out. Minecraft is probably going to make $1 billion at the box office. Five Nights at Freddy's has a sequel coming out. Yeah, they're definitely a thing. It's kind of weird because Marvel's whole superhero thing was really something special. It was different from anything because it was this universe that expanded all these movies and connected them. And obviously DC tried their hand, but they also had their solo stuff, which was really good. Nintendo seems like they're dropping the ball when it comes to that cinematic universe style. So we are going to just get standalones, which is fine. That's more than fine. I don't think the superhero stuff's going to go away. There might be less of it, and it might be more focused, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. I think they're going to get smarter with how much they're blowing on these movies. Superman is really going to be a litmus test, I think, for DCU to see how far they can go, how far they can fly, if you will. If that movie makes bank, James Gunn's gonna go full force. You have Supergirl coming out. There's Swamp Thing, I think, is in the works. Toxic Crusader or Toxic Avenger, I believe I heard, was coming up at some point. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon. So superhero movies are not going anywhere. They just have to get smarter with them financially and smarter about what they put out there. Movie Man Michael for $4.99. Thank you. Adam, would you be down to catch a movie once you're back in Minnesota? Would be awesome to meet you, unless that's too weird. No, that's not too weird. Yeah, keep up on the live streams, or I'll put out a community tab probably when I get back to Minnesota and I figure out what movie theater I'm going to be attending and on what nights. And usually I can kind of gauge a time. Actually, I can't gauge a time. I'm all over the place with timing of movies. But yes, you definitely can see a movie. I would love that. I met a couple people when I was in Minnesota and we went to movies together. Yes, I know. Uncharted 2 is coming out. Stupid. All right, I got one more thing before I leave, and that was the Aquafina joke. All it is a simple joke. There was a couple trailers released today. or around today, maybe tomorrow. The Jurassic World one, which I did comment about in a video. There's a new Return to Derry or something of that nature. It's called. It's a prequel to the It movies. Skarsgård, I believe, is returning as Pennywise. It's going to focus on another set of kids. It looks like it's probably going to be a Stranger Things, back in the 60s or whenever it takes place, 50s or 60s, something like that. And yeah, it's going to be kind of one of the original, I guess, set of victims in the town of Derry. I think it looks really good. Trailer was terrific. Didn't give much away, but it gave me hope that we got something really, really sweet on our hands. I like those movies, even the second one, which is a mess and too long and bloated. I still enjoy both of them. There was another trailer. Okay, the funniest one. Zootopia 2 released a trailer today. It was so bizarre. What a weird ass trailer. It was very funny and colorful and zany and didn't feel like a Disney. It just didn't feel like a Disney trailer. It looked like something DreamWorks would put out for Trolls or Sing. It looked like a Sing trailer. There was no dialogue in it. It was all music, and it was just a bunch of wacky characters doing wacky things. And Aquafina comes up because of this funny comment I saw right away in one of the video comments, where the bunny and the fox, I don't know their names. I don't follow the movie that well, or the fanfic furry shit online, but they bump together and a blue snake comes out, looks all wacky, and it coils around them. And the first comment on YouTube was, that snake is going to be voiced by fucking Aquafina, isn't it? And I had to laugh pretty hard about that. The joke's out, I guess. People are seeing the Aquafina run in these animated films. And I guess with that, I will shut this down. I might do one more live stream, possibly Saturday night or Sunday night. I don't know yet. If I can get some of the gang together for one last little hurrah, talk movies. Maybe we'll talk Mission Impossible and whatever else we saw. Otherwise, it's been real. I will see you in a couple weeks. I'm moving to my new place on the 1st, and I'll probably have the studio up, I would imagine, by the 3rd or the 4th. I don't fuck around, all right? I gotta keep making content. It's a second job at this point. Gotta pay the bills. So I will get a new studio set up. There will be a trial and error period, of course. Things probably won't sound right, look right. We'll go through all the stuff that we always have to go through, but it will happen. And then I will get the lives going shortly after that. So hopefully within the second week of June, I will have a live stream back on Tuesday nights. And hopefully you join me for them. All right, take care.